Oh, what's going on? What's this?
International Women's Day. It's a free event for all genders, all races, all religions, and it's completely free, set up entirely by volunteers, 10 to 4 in the marketplace.
And I can just go in?
Definitely.
Let's go inside.
Yeah, come on.
Different foods from different cultures, and a lot of it's vegan friendly.
Oh, it's vegan friendly.
Yeah, they've got veggie burgers over there, and samosas and curries and things like that.
It is a collection of stories, human people, different stories. You can come and pick out a book. The book is a person. You can ask them any questions that you want. You can talk to them about what's on the front cover, or you can just talk to them about anything in the world that's not on the front cover and get to know them. The idea is you sit down and you have a conversation with someone you never would have met before, and ask anything you want to. Yeah, I think people like telling their stories. It's nice, isn't it? You get to meet someone new and just have a different conversation that you wouldn't have otherwise. It breaks down boundaries, meeting someone that you don't know anything about other than a single label, and then being able to have a conversation for half an hour at a time that covers all sorts of things that may not even have been on that front cover. To me, that's what it's about.
We would just like to read out a certificate we would like to present you with. This is a certificate of recognition presented to Sonia Rowbottom and the Vox Feminarum team at International Women's Day Derby 2017, here in the marketplace of historical significance, as the suffragettes once spoke here, right here. In recognition of the strong spirit, inspiring activism and phenomenal women of Vox Fem. These women's feet have marched many protest miles. These women's hands have painted many late-night rally banners. These women's arms have carried many heavy loads. These women's eyes have seen many late-night workloads. These women's hearts have gone into feeding many people at community events. These women's minds have reflected and educated. These women's bodies have shared the red tent. These women's time and energy has nurtured sisterhood and has been given generously. These women's voices have spoken up for others and for social justice. These women's actions have started ripple effects. These women's spirits have raised and inspired others. Please give lots of support to Vox Feminarum on this award.
Representing Vox Feminarum, Women's Voices, but in particular the Deeds Not Words Towards Liberation project.
What is that project?
Next year marks the centenary of the first set of women getting the right to vote. We have a HLF funded project to create a series of activities and events and record women's oral histories which relate to social and political activism, as well as to tell the history of the suffragettes into the women's liberation movement and up to the present. It will do to some extent, but having just dipped our toe into the waters over the last 8 months, we realised just how much history there is and just how much has never been told. And so we're now seeing this in terms of what next. We wanted to take a holistic view because we called into a few places to see what were you doing for the centenary, and there wasn't much, so we decided to make the project Derbyshire-wide. And people are surprised that Barbara Castle was born in Chesterfield, that Vivienne Westwood is a Derbyshire all these amazing women who are Derbyshire born, and people don't know about it, and it just goes to show that we're really touching on something important. So I just want to say that it's Vanessa and International Women's Day. Thank you so much for providing such an important platform that's brought together such diverse groups. This is a rare occurrence in the city. There are people from all walks of life, small groups and large, and I think that it's an enormous moment. You just feel that it's really something really important that's happening when these events happen, and certainly the team have worked very hard, you can see that, and I just want to say thank you so much, Vanessa and the International Women's Day team. Thank you for doing this.
If you're lonely, live knowing that I will always love you. Spend every quiet hour thinking of you, and every night you creep into my dreams.
We're looking at Derby Her Story, 100 years of International Women's Day in Derby and Derbyshire. That sounds really interesting to think of a century. Have you covered a century of research then?
Yeah, we've covered a century and a little bit more actually. We've been looking into the history of International Women's Day in Derby and Derbyshire. We didn't know what we were going to find, but basically we've created 100 years packed full of stuff. We've got old newspaper reports, we've got interviews with past organisers. Now basically what we've done is a load of community sessions where women and children have come along, and we've put on training in research skills, interview skills, so everything has been created and researched by the community.
Right, so you've built a real research capacity then in your community.
Yeah, and we think this is the first project of its kind in the UK, because a lot of projects looking at the history of International Women's Day have looked at it globally. We can't find any other projects in the UK which have looked at the history of it actually locally. Yeah. So we think this is the first one. Is that obviously history often concentrates on men, women are often hidden from history, so this has kind of uncovered some amazing sort of hidden stories which we didn't know what we were going to find, but we found some amazing stuff. And a lot of the women who've taken part haven't really necessarily engaged in a project like this before, so they've not been into the local studies library or they've not been into the museum, and so hopefully we've ignited a bit of a passion. The skills that they've developed, and just that knowing the importance of what they're doing, basically, that they're kind of breaking new ground, doing stuff that nobody else has thought to do before, which is, it's an amazing achievement for all of us, actually. It's been an amazing project.
Strangely doesn't seem that long ago, considering women have been actually influencing society for many more generations than that. But today is a time to remember, celebrate and reflect upon the achievements of women across the ages. It's also a day in which we need to readdress the unresolved issues facing many women in our societies and be driven but creative in addressing how each and every one of us can play a role in bringing change in our lives tomorrow.
So I want you to repeat after me, okay? 1, 2, 3. Akili Makole. Akili Makole. Akili Makole.
Tracy, can you tell us something about the empowering nature of American tribal style belly dance?
It's about communication and working together. We do work as a team when we're dancing. We will come out in groups of 2, 3 or 4 and follow the leader, whoever that is, and support what they're doing. So it's all improvised, and it's basically just whatever the leader's doing, whatever their dance is. If they've dancers behind them who aren't as experienced, then they obviously will take that into account. So it's all about working together and teamwork.
So it sounds very nurturing.
We do a moving meditation as well, beginning of the class or at the end of the class, which is about honouring the people that you're dancing with and the music and people that are working with you. So
thanks very much, Tracy, and all the best for the performance.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, hi Vanessa. This is Vanessa Boone from International Women's Day Derby, the volunteer organising team. It's been absolutely a wonderful day today here in Derby. I'm just amazed by everything that your team have done to work towards this for a whole year. How do you fit this in between being a chorister, a dancer, an abseiler?
Yeah, it's been a busy week. And I think it is a case of juggling. A lot of us on the committee, we're all volunteers, we're all unpaid. We do this on top of running our businesses, raising children, supporting elderly relatives, carers, people who depend on us. Not a single one of my women on my team only volunteers for this. We all volunteer for other charities in Derby too, so I feel really proud of what we've achieved this year, and it's been a buzzing atmosphere today. I think it's lifted everyone's spirits. Yeah, it's fantastic that every year more organisations want to get involved, more performers want to be there, more stallholders, so it grows and grows. I'm not sure if we're going to find a marquee big enough for next year to get any bigger. It's been particularly special to me this year in 2017 because we've had the Heritage Lottery funded project to research the history of International Women's Day in Derby and Derbyshire. We started with a few clues. We didn't really know how far back it went or who was running it before the 80s, and we found that it goes back over 100 years, and that right here where we are today in the marketplace, these suffragettes were here in 1907 with a huge rally, again in 1914 nearby on Curzon Street on Temperance Hall, and Kath Duncan, a prominent Socialist Communist Party member and a very highly revered orator of her time, spoke here in the marketplace too on International Women's Day. And I think it's given us more confidence and more ambition to stretch further, to do more, to take on more new interesting ideas for the festival. So each year it keeps getting bigger and more ambitious, which is exciting, but it's a lot of work.
So it's really creating a new history for Derby as well, that is stepping out into this festival. It's renewing all of that, isn't it?
It is, and it's so important to record what we do as women because we've often been left out of the formal historical records. And even now in the current contemporary records in the media, we don't get the credit we deserve. So it's really important to us now to record what we're doing at the time and to preserve that for future generations. People often ask us why do we do this? You know, it's unpaid, it's an awful lot of work. We fundraise tirelessly throughout the year. We beg, borrow and steal to get freebies and discounts and with contractors to make it all possible. There are so many reasons I could mention, from the fact that I'm frustrated that I need vocabulary like FGM and child bride, to unequal pay, to underrepresentation, to unheard voices from the classroom for girls globally, to the boardroom. But most of all, I have exactly 1 billion reasons as my first 1 billion, and that is 1 in 3 women and girls on this planet on our watch will experience gender-based violence in their lifetime. So that's 1 billion women, so they're my first 1 billion reasons.
Yeah, so it's always the case where it's centred around celebration. There is this sort of heart for women and girls, sisters, mothers, daughters, aunts, friends, and there is this sort of heart of suffering amidst our celebration, and doesn't it show also the resilience of women that we still come forward every time?
So yeah, I feel really proud of the campaigns women lead, the volunteering we do, the juggling we do to still make things like this happen, despite the fact that there is a lot of pain, a lot of hurt, a lot of anger. A lot of the rights that our previous sisters fought for are now under threat again, and I think I didn't grow up in my generation thinking I would need to fight for those things again because I thought they were already fought for. It worries me, but I think at International Women's Day it's a nice balance of celebrating the progress that we've made, but also a reminder and hope and inspiration for people to take action, no matter how big or small. Start something that you're passionate about, and I hope that's the message people take away.
Yeah, start something that you're passionate about. Wonderful. Thank you, Vanessa Boone, International Women's Day Derby
Thank you.
2017. And we'll see you next year.